Welcome friends, Migs from MigsTCG here, and happy Saturday. Today is going to be a short video, mainly because I want to just discuss the ban list with you guys, and it is my birthday weekend, so my wife and I want to go outside and celebrate, touch some grass. But I do want to talk to you guys about the ban list because it came out last Saturday, and the ban list will have an effect on the national season coming up. So without further ado, let's get started. For the forbidden cards, we have Cyberstein. Cyberstein, I can see being forbidden. Has been a problem card for a while already. So this card kind of cheeses out Naturia Exterio, which locks a lot of decks from playing. I mean, Exterio is pretty strong already on its own, allowing you to basically negate either spells or traps, not a once per turn, just simply dumping our card from the top of your deck. It's not really fair, so now if you want to make an Naturia Exterior, you gotta do it the hard way. So, Cyberstein, a card we all saw coming. It's been out for a while. Now, Super Heavy Samurai, it's kind of weird because Scarecrow doesn't really do much. It is a combo piece. Yes, it does provide a lot of extension for Super Heavies. And Super Heavy deck just came out not too long ago, so it makes it seem like Konami doesn't really care about those GP archetypes if they're willing to hit them already this soon. So Super Heavy, we just got to find a new way to go around with their combos, but this doesn't really hurt much. Like I said, it's just a slap on the wrist. Number 89, Diablosis. For all of you who play Kashtira, I am very, very sorry. For me, who doesn't play Kashtira, I'm very happy to see it go, because Diablosis changed the game in a way where you have to build around it. If you are not building around Diablosis and taking away key pieces from your extra deck, then that just makes it so you're not prepared and it'll hit you way harder. So Diablosis gone just makes it so us non-Kashtira players can just prevent for the Unicorn, but that's about it. Unicorn is still able to hit, but it's not as bad as Diablosis. Diablosis was able to hit like that, and it hit like a truck. So, a Pointer of the Red Lotus. It got moved to 1, I believe, in a previous ban list, and now it's at none. But it wasn't really being played at all, so I'm very surprised that they actually just flat out banned it. They should have just done that from the beginning if that was their goal. It's a strong card. It's a going second card. And if your opponent is none the wiser, it can really hurt. But I don't see any play for it. I do not see the point of putting a 1 card in your deck for just a going second scenario. So good riddance, I guess. That card wasn't really used. Branded Expulsion, though, does not hurt me at all. Being a branded player now, it's a card that doesn't really do much for me because I did not use the Puppet Lock. I felt like that was a cheap way of winning. But those of you who decide to take the free win, I will not judge you for that. That's just my personal opinion. But Expulsion is a card that doesn't really do much. I honestly thought they were going to do Branded Fusion. I'm glad they didn't. Branded Fusion needs to stay at 3 for the deck to have its consistency. Branded Expulsion, I'm glad to see it go. Honestly, it's fine. And the Branded deck doesn't really need it. It's a deck that can grind out. It's a deck that, yes, might lose to Ash. But if you play your card right and prevent, or at least prepare for that Ash, or prepare for the cards that you know can hurt you, they won't do much. For limited cards are a little bit odd here and there. We do have Blaster, the Dragon Ruler of, Infernos. Blaster is a really old card. It's been on the ban list for a really, really long time now. But it got released in OCG, then Online Master Duel, and now TCG is just kind of following suit. They're gonna reprint it pretty soon, so I'm pretty sure Konami just wanted to bring it at 1, just so they can test the waters with it, seeing if it's safe to ever go back to 3, which we don't really know. With new releases from Wild Survivors and all these other crazy sets, it might be used there, so it's gonna be a toss-up. For now, they're doing the safe thing and just putting it to 1, which again just puts all 3 of us in line. Now, MathMech players out there, I am very sorry for you, because MathMech Circular was a card that made your deck extremely playable. It's a card that can do everything for you guys in one single package wrapped up in a nice bow. And now being limited to 1 just makes it so you really have to either, it's not impossible for you guys to search for it. You have ways. Signet Mining, all these other cards. But Batman Circular now, your one copy has to be really, really taken care of, because if not, you're kind of screwed. Now the Magic package can be integrated into others, the Cyverse and all that other stuff. So I think they're trying to veer off towards the firewall option. So we shall see what they can come up with. The deck is not dead. The deck is just limping. Sci-Fi. Oh my god, Sci-Fi. Sci-Frame Gear Gamma. That's a card nobody saw coming. It honestly just kills the card. It was one of the best hand traps out there. It wasn't seeing that much play. There were a few decks that were trying to run it. I know I was going to run it in my Despia deck, but now what's the point? Nobody wants to run the one driver and the one gamma. There's no point in having one brick for the one good card. So limiting it to one essentially just kind of kills that card. Now other players are actually going for strategies like the other side frames, alpha, beta, whatever the Greek alphabet takes them to. But I honestly feel like gamma was the perfect card. It was strong enough. Now it's just like, meh, we'll see what can happen. But essentially, Cypher Gamma is dead. Denlong, Fist of the Yang Sing. If you are a Sword Soul player, might as well just start getting your copies now, because this card only has 2 copies or 2 printings, and it's been skyrocketing ever since it got released. Has it been proven? No. There are combo pieces out there with the card that can do very well, but Denlong is not a card that will probably get a lot of playtime, especially because Sword Soul is slowly tapering off the meta. It's still there, it's still doing its Sword Soul thing, but I don't think Denlong can just revive it all of a sudden. Again, for you Kashira players, Kashira Arise Heart got limited to 1. Does it kill your deck? No. Kashira is still going to be the most strong deck in the room. It's going to be the deck to beat. It still has all of its combo pieces, mainly with its Fenrir. Fenrir is the strongest card you can find out there. It still has Birth at 3, Theosis, everything. The only thing is your Xyz monster, Arise Heart, is just a 1, meaning you have to be extremely careful with that copy. Same as the Maverick players. If that copy leaves, a lot of your power, a lot of your consistency leaves with it, and you don't want that. Even though the card was being run at 2, 3 was pushing it a little bit. Having it at 1 just kind of makes it odd. And like I said, you really have to protect that card. You have to invest your resources into keeping it on the field or being able to bring it back. I believe that it was MSTTV who said that if it gets sent to grave, it would be an ideal case because you can just monster reborn it, but we shall see. That was just an early comment. We'll see what Kashira players evolve into. I feel like this is a good evolution for you guys because having your pieces either limited, semi-limited, or forbidden just makes it so you guys can not be as repetitive with your combos. You can actually veer off a little bit more, even evolve the deck to the next stage. Now, Purely Delicious Memory got hit. I think it converted Purely to Plump, the little cute green guy that looks like a green Eevee. But that's about it. Purely is a rather new deck. I feel like Konami is just trying to hit it in the kneecaps here and there, so it doesn't become the best deck in the room. But Purely wasn't really the best deck in the room just yet. It still needs something. It feels like it's missing something, and now with Delicious Memory being placed to 1, I feel like it's going to be missing Delicious Memory plus the thing from before. We shall see how Purely evolves. And the OCG, I know that Purely was a really, really strong deck, but now the TCG, who knows? It could just be second fiddle to Kashira again. Naturia Sacred Tree, I don't have much to say about Naturia Sacred Tree. I don't personally play Naturia Sacred Tree. I don't know what it does, and I really don't care. I played against it once, and I really didn't care because I beat him quite easily, so sorry. Now, last but not least, semi-limited. So semi-limited is going to be really quick. Herald of Orange Light. Good card, bad card, doesn't really matter. Herald of Orange Light will not see that much play. It's the 2 copies. You basically wanted a 3 for that consistency. good luck. Drytron players, you guys can still get full advantage of that card. It does very well in your deck. I do not see it actually doing that well in a lot of the other decks, so we shall see. Kashtira Unicorn. Kashtira Unicorn is just a consistency hit to Kashtira. It honestly does nothing to either hurt or hinder the deck. It's gonna be there. Unicorn, if you are able to find it with Theosis and other means of searching, is gonna get to your hand quickly and do what Unicorn does best, which is gets you more of those cards that you need to either draw or to that birth, just so you can normal summon the level 7s. Kashtira Unicorn is a great card. Having it at 2 doesn't do anything for it, so meh. Again, Kashtira will continue to be the best deck in the room. Now, Lightning Storm, that's a weird one. I don't know if anybody saw Lightning Storm coming, but the fact that they put it at 2 just basically means that Konami is not paying attention. I have not seen many deck lists that actually play the card, or even if they have it on the side, how many times did it get actually cited into the actual duel is a mystery. I kind of want to see the numbers on that because it's an odd choice to limit it to 2. Runic Fountain, I hate Runic. Honestly, that deck I cannot stand. It's a really strong deck. It's really annoying. It gets its recursion over and over again. It's hard to deal with. It's honestly a very strong deck, and that's why I hate it. But putting Runic Fountain to 2 of a card that you already had at 2 in the deck anyway doesn't really do anything for the deck. Runic is going to continue being as strong as it can be, so it loses nothing. So limiting Fountain to 2 does nothing. I kind of wish Fountain would have been placed at 1. Then Runic would have had a little bit more to worry about. But as it stands, Runic does this semi-limiting to 2 does nothing at all. So happy days to you, Runic players. I hate them so much. Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. Hey, rejoice, Sky Striker players. You're slowly getting your pieces back. I don't know what you guys have done for Konami, but Konami is shining its lights upon you guys, and it's giving your mercy back. So Engage, move back to 2. It makes the deck a little bit more consistent, makes the deck better. Is it going to make it a top contender? No. They're still going to be Rogue, if not Tier 1 at best. It's not the same. If you had Mystic Mind, then we were able to talk. But since there is no Mystic Mind anymore, then I feel like Sky Striker's just going to cruise. Now, Sprite Starter, that is a weird one. But it doesn't feel like a full hit to Sprite. It's just a consistency hit, kind of like what Kashtira Unicorn is. It doesn't really do much. Sprite Starter at 2 just basically means you might have to play a what is it, the golden sprite or whatever, not even golden, the silver sprite, just an additional sprite name in order for you to search that card. But either way, it doesn't really do much for Sprite. Sprite is going to continue being one of the strongest decks in the room, and Sprite variations will continue to come. Did the Sprite variation I want to see ever come to fruition? No. Yuski Sprite never really came into the limelight, but who knows, it might not be too late for it. Lastly though, I'm just going to go real quickly through the limiteds and releases. Blackwing Steam the Cloak, Gen X Ally Birdman, Samsara Lotus, Spiral Quick Fix, Letterless Recital Starling, Draco Face Off, and Sky Striker Multi-Roll. Will they change the game? No. Could they have come out years before? Yes, except for Quick Fix, because Quick Fix needed the power creep to catch up a little bit for it not to be as strong as it used to be, because Spiral deck will always be one of the strongest decks, or at least. But aside from that, they could have all been released a while ago because they are no longer a power or a threat. Will they be seen? Yes. Some of those cards will be seen in meta contention, but not all of them will, and not all of them will actually change the game. Like I said before, and I will continue saying, Kashtira will still be the best deck in the room. Branded Despia will still lose to a perfectly placed or a perfectly timed Ash Blossom, and we shall see what else the meta can come up with. We cannot prepare for everything, but at least this way we know what we can and cannot play, and we can sort of build around it. In the meantime, that has been all for me, Again, I'm gonna be celebrating this weekend with my lovely wife. We're gonna be having so much fun. Maybe catch a ball game, hopefully, and we'll go from there. I kind of want to have dinner, and she wants me to have dinner too, so it works out. In the meantime, everybody, it was a pleasure having you guys again. Thank you for listening to my nonsense rambling. We'll see you again Saturdays at 7. And remember, let's not wait for it to be a good day. Let's make it a good day. Take care, everybody. Bye.